Good evening and welcome to the Games Lift graduation of 2024. We are very happy to be once again streaming live from the Design Centrum here in Hamburg to present to you on site, but also to everyone who is following the stream on YouTube, the 5 Games Lift Incubator teams of 2024 and the projects. We, that is Gamecity Hamburg, the initiative to support and connect the games ecosystem here in town. I'm Anna.
And I'm Maggie, and the two of us will be your hosts for tonight. Welcome to all of you, and a special welcome, first and foremost, to the Ministry of Culture and Media of the City of Hamburg, who made this evening and the incubator as a whole possible in the first place. Then also to the industry professionals who are in our Games Lift network and who always have the back of our participating teams. And of course, to the 5 Games Lift Incubator teams of 2024, who will be our main characters for tonight. Over the past 3 months, we had the honor of accompanying them through the workshop phase of our incubator program. During that time, they received workshops, talks, and mentoring sessions intended to help them bring their games to the next level.
And we're here tonight to see what our 5 Games Lift teams have achieved after those 3 months, and to celebrate their achievements with all of you who are joining us tonight online and offline. And if you are watching the live stream right now, we will provide links to the team's games and websites and the socials in the chat. And we love for you to fill the chat with live and feedback and comments. Please leave everything you want to leave there and more. And leave anything you want to share about the presentations as well.
Usually this would be the part where Dennis Ruby, as head of Gamecity Hamburg, would step on the stage to direct a few words to the audience and also to the Games Lift participants. But since he cannot be here tonight, we'd like to take the chance to send a big shout out to Dennis, who has over the past 5 years shaped not only the incubator program, but many more programs of Gamecity Hamburg. And I think really made a difference in Hamburg's game scene. So thank you very much to Dennis on the behalf of the Gamecity team, but I think also on behalf, hopefully, of the funding recipients. And also thank you, Dennis, for leaving a couple of words to our teams and to the audience.
I will leave my best. Yes, please. Now off to my Dennis impersonation. No, I will read out some words he sent over to tell you. So sorry for reading this. Congratulations to the former incubator team behind Map, a game about maps, which won the Newcomer Award at the Deutscher Entwicklerpreis last week. And to the creators of Misgiven, another former incubator team, who have been successful in the category Best Prototype at this year's Deutscher Computerspielpreis. And to bring it full circle, the team behind the game Light of Atlantis also won in the category Best Prototype at last year's Deutscher Computerspielpreis, and the team will be showing the progress of the puzzle Metroidvania tonight. Together with the teams behind Frisia, ForeFeathers, Garden Inc. and Pubcrawler, all of you have taken big steps forward in creating clear visions for your games and understanding your target market. By all the complexity the development of games brings, always keep your focus on the main drivers of your projects and on a healthy team culture. Thank you, Dennis, for these words.
And now, before we head to the main part with the 5 presentations for the evening, we just wanted to give you a small insight into what the Games Lift Incubator is and what it looked like this year. I'll do it like this. We slightly changed the incubator each year to accommodate the needs of game dev startups in each year, but the goal always stays the same. Games Lift is there to enable indie teams to successfully develop and also market their games, and we do that by providing them with knowledge, resources, and a strong network. So what does that look like in real life? This year, we started on September 9th with our kickoff day in the space in Hamburg. This was the day when all of our 5 teams met for the first time. They didn't know each other mostly before that. So they met for the first time. We met them for the first time in real life. And also it was the first time they met their 5 mentors, who've been supporting them over the past months and will for many more months, and where they also had their first mentoring session. They also received the first half of their 15,000 euros financial support and started the workshop program just a few days later. The workshops and talks are in part online and also in part on-site, depending on where the speaker is located, because we have a very international speaker lineup. And the topics cover business, marketing, strategic topics for game developers. They involve tons of sticky notes, as you can see on one picture, also a couple of creative exercises, as you can see on the top left. That was a lot of fun. And yeah, as you can see on the bottom picture, also a lot of laughs. This was the potentially very dry legal workshop, but you see everyone looks happy and laughing. So I think it's a good sign that we picked the right speaker for that. A couple of examples of speakers and topics we have is, for example, Heather Chandler. She used to be a senior producer on Fortnite and teaches our teams in project management and producing. We are very happy to have Steffen Rühl not only as one of our 5 mentors, but also as our pitch trainer. Then we are also very happy to have someone from Valve here in Hamburg, Jan-Peter Ewert, who is talking to our teams about Steam. And Simon Carlos, who you might know if you're in the games industry from the famous Game Discover Co. newsletter, and he talked to our teams about the 10 commandments of game discoverability and helped our teams refine their game hooks. Since the first year, we are working with Kessia Curran, who always helps our teams to set up a market analysis for their games. And this year, for the first time, we had the pleasure of having Thomas Reisenegger from Future Friends for an indie game PR workshop. So that's just a few examples. Overall, we had 15 workshops over the past 3 months, and for our topics that were not covered in the workshop program, we are very happy that we have our Games Lift network. That's a group of around 30 people from all areas of game development and games business, and yeah, with a very broad expertise, and they are always happy to help our teams with individual questions wherever they might need it. So this was the past 3 months, but it's not yet over. We are here now at the graduation, and while the main part and the workshop program is now over, we are very happy to say that we will keep on working with the teams. We will meet them over the next 9 months for a couple of mentoring and playtesting sessions, also for individual coachings if they need it and or want it. And for the first time, we will also have a joint visit at a B2B games industry event in 2025. So we're very much looking forward to those next 9 months, but of course now we are very much looking forward to the main part of the evening, which is the presentations themselves. So let's get to the 5 graduation pitches of 2024.
Yeah, thank you so much, Maggie. Now it is time to take a deeper dive into our graduation. What could be better than a journey deep down into the mysterious underwater world of Atlantis? Prepare yourself for brain-teasing puzzles of the wonderful Light of Atlantis by Duck and Run Games. Please welcome to the stage.
I tried once. Nope. Okay. Great. Good start to the evening, I think. Expected. Fancy trailer first. We're getting there. Thank you. So, hello everyone, and welcome in Atlantis. You awake in an ancient ruin of a long-lost city, a place filled with mysteries and secrets. A society vanished eons ago, and only the city deep beneath the ocean remains. As a little robot, you make your way through the city, uncover its mysteries and secrets, and find out what really happened to the once prosperous society. Water is everywhere in Atlantis. You as a robot have the power or the ability to influence it directly through elements in the environment. This will allow you to navigate the sunken city fully and solve the various puzzles along the way. And because every element behaves differently depending on if it's in the water or not, you can find unique solutions for the various problems. Another key aspect of the game is switching between robots. The robots are kind of a vessel, as we as a player actually play a wandering soul, which has the ability to possess and control the different robots. And there were various robots to choose from in Atlantis, each with their own abilities and behaviors. And these new tools and perspectives on the puzzles allow us to further explore the sunken city of Atlantis. And of course, the water plays an important part here as well, as the wandering soul behaves differently depending on if it's in the water or not. Light of Atlantis is a 2D puzzle Metroidvania, meaning it's puzzle-focused and part of its progression is knowledge-based. Here are some similar games which inspired us on our journey. Planet of Lana proves to us that a linear, puzzle-focused platformer can still be successful these days. And our current finished demo represents that. Tunic is a puzzle, or is a Metroidvania. Its progression is not in a classical sense in a Metroidvania where you get new skills and upgrades and getting through the world through that. So you have more like the skills from the beginning, and you learn how to use them and how to find the right paths with them. And we want to build on that with, or we want to take the concept of, in contrast to Tunic, we want to make our game more approachable for beginners and children that might refrain from the challenging combat. And lastly, we have Animal. It's the closest to where we think our finished game as a puzzle Metroidvania will be. But our colorful palette and the slow learning curve includes inexperienced players as well.
So, who are we? We are a team of 3 people, Tuck and Run Games, and Vincent is doing the programming and project management. I'm doing the audio and game design, and we also have Josie, who you will see later, who is doing the concept and 2D art. We met during our studies, and that's where we started developing Light of Atlantis. And after graduation, we had a polished prototype that won the German Computer Games Award and got nominated for several other awards. We also got some funding from the Gamecity, for example, and went to several conventions where we gathered experience, talking to audiences and talking to different people from the industry. So you might ask yourself, what are we doing in the Games Lift Incubator? Because looking at our polished prototype, it looks like we're kind of far into the development. But we realized that our wish list numbers and our stats don't really represent what we are trying to achieve. And so we asked ourselves, okay, maybe we need some more help with marketing, or maybe we should look into how we should promote our game on Steam better so people get more attracted to our page. And this is why we joined the incubator, and also to grow our community and network. So what we did the last months was create more content on social media, try different things to see what sticks, and also trying different platforms to see which one performs better. And we also did several Steam events, or joined several Steam events. For example, these one you see here, some of them were online and some of them were were local events. For example, the Games Ground Berlin, where we also had the opportunity to talk to publishers and other people from the industry. We also got the opportunity to join a streaming event from the Women-Led Games Steam event, which was very awesome. And lastly, we got to go to the Polaris convention, where we were able to talk to our audience, grow our community there, meet some people that have seen a game from other conventions before and reconnect with them. And that was very awesome. Because our community consists of very sweet people that learned to love our game and also created some fan art. So shout outs to those. Yeah. Also, we actually worked on the game during the last months. We were working towards a vertical slice. We created some concepts for a map because many people gave us the feedback that they got lost easily and needed a map. We prototyped a glyph mechanic where you use the soul to draw like several symbols, and we were working on a dialogue system. So this is our timeline for the future. We want to finish our vertical slice in April, then we will go to the production phase, go to QA in 2026, and then have our full release in autumn of 2026. Yeah, thanks for having us, and if you want to try it for yourself, there's a free demo on Steam, and if you like it, we would appreciate it if you wishlist a game. That would help us a lot.
Thank you. This was a wonderful, wonderful presentation, but we're not over yet, because now we will hear some words from business development consultant and Games Lift mentor Soeren. Please welcome to the stage Soeren.
Okay, the route everyone else is taking is not always the right one for you. That's what some people say, and I think that's also what you've been doing. You entered the program with already a prototype secured, funding for prototyping. You had won several awards and got nominated also. That's normally what the companies that leave the incubator are hoping to achieve when they're done with it, but you already had that. But it's very good to know what you don't know, and so you went into this program very focused on publishing and marketing to enhance the chances to make your project come true, and by that you basically gained a lot of knowledge and know-how in publishing, marketing, creating community, as we just saw. So we believe that you are totally well equipped now to realize your dream project, Light of Atlantis, and very confident that you will achieve that. A very positive side effect for the program, because of your a little bit special background, was that a lot of the other teams actually learned a lot from the knowledge that you shared with them. So you brought a lot of experience into the program, and everybody was very, very happy about that. So yeah, so good luck for the future, and if you keep the same focus and determination that you did in this program here, we are sure that we will soon, everyone here, be able to play the full version of Light of Atlantis. All the best.
Thank you.
Thank you, Soeren. Thank you so much. Now I have 2 more questions for you, and we heard it a little bit. What exactly is a Metroidvania, and how does it apply to your game? Can you explain it?
Yeah, so you might heard of the term Metroidvania already. The essence that changes for the Metroidvania is that the progression that is normally happening through upgrades of abilities in a Metroidvania is in a Metroidvania bound to the knowledge that you gain throughout playing the game. You already have abilities at the start, but you don't know yet how to use them. So you learn it throughout the game, and you can do things later that you could have done before, but you just didn't know. And in our game, we have the glyph drawing mechanic that we showed before. And there will be several kinds of glyphs that you might learn throughout the game, or you have to discover later how you learn to use the glyphs.
Okay, thank you. And how can people support you now with your game?
Yes, as I've already said, there's a Steam demo. If you want, you can play it, and if you like it, then we would really appreciate it if you wishlist our game there, as it helps boost the algorithm.
Thank you so much. This was Light of Atlantis. Thank you so much, dear team.
Thanks for having me. Thank you.
Yeah, as we heard in Light of Atlantis, you can manipulate water levels to reach your goal. And in a completely different way, water levels also play a role in the next game that's going to be up here on stage. Personally, the region where it plays, where the setting takes place, is very dear to my heart. I spent my last 2 summer vacations there, and I know the same goes for the person who's making the game. Welcome to the stage, Rouven Cabanis.
No? I was hoping it would work, but is this actually on or is it off? Okay, perfect. Moin. Hi everyone, I'm Rouven and I'm the developer behind Frisia Tales and Tides, which is a building strategy and exploration game set in a romanticized Frisia of the 19th century. So, first of all, let's take a look at Frisia itself. Some may know, some may not know. Frisia is actually a region, probably better known here in its native tongue as Friesland. So the culture of the Frisians spans all across the Netherlands, along the German North Sea coast, up until the southern border of the Danish Jutland Peninsula. Frisia is a very special region. It is defined by the tides. For example, the Wadden Sea is a very unique feature of this landscape. When the water recedes there during the low tide, it reveals huge mudflats and enables the people who live there to actually walk between their once separated islands. And then, besides its lush green meadows, dikes, and really cute sheep, it's also known for its dynamic and, yeah, let's call it dynamic weather. Everyone who has been to the North Sea Islands may know you can experience a whole year worth of seasons on a single day. For me, this region, as Maggie implied, is also very special because I spent most of my childhood holidays there, so it's almost like a second home, especially on the island of Amrum. Here you can see me in my earliest contributions to the Hochwasserschutz of Nordfriesland. So naturally, at some point, I had to pour that love and nostalgia into a game. Now, let's talk about that game. I hope you gained an impression what Frisia is all about for me personally and in a more broader sense. And now let's talk about what you actually can find there. I like to describe Frisia, the game, as an atmospheric village builder. I want to represent the atmosphere of this unique region, as well the sunny moments that you can see here, as well as the more darker ones. So, what do you actually do in the game? You start off with your small ship and explore the vast region of the North Sea. And during that, the tides play a huge role during the gameplay. For example, if you're driving around with your ship, you have to watch out for sandbanks so you don't run aground when the ebb sets in, because the North Sea is quite treacherous, of course. Then you may find an island. You can found your first settlement there, build up your village, use washed up goods from the shores to build it, improve it over time, and even then maybe upgrade your ship and set out to a new adventure, find new regions, new resources that you can use to upgrade your village again, and the cycle again starts from the beginning. Now that we talked about the game, I would like to introduce myself. Who's the guy actually making it? Well, that's me. I'm with my solo dev label Wetterfest. The picture is kind of a fail, since it was supposed to have the wonderful lighthouse of Westerhever-Sand in the background, but it was completely covered in construction foil at that point. So yeah, you have to get creative with that. Yeah, I've made some games in the past. I started during my bachelor's degree, where it really helped me to learn coding and therefore helped me finishing my bachelor's degree. Now I'm at the HW Hamburg in the last steps of my master. And yeah, you can see some projects of mine there. One of them is a little shitty horror game. Not shitty enough, though, that I wouldn't show it to you. It's also my first Steam release, so it has a special place in my heart. And then, of course, Betrayal, which is also a project that I'm really proud of, together with the people from the HAW. It was a group effort, and yeah, something you can really show. And then I also get some help from my friend Adrian, who's also here, hello, who is responsible for the beautiful main theme you heard in the beginning, and who will support me in terms of music and sound design along the way. And yeah, what games do I love? Pretty much all games with dense atmospheres, as you can see here, and maybe you can find some aspects in Frisia, maybe not Elden Ring-like boss fights, but something a bit more subtle than that. Yeah, now let's take a look at my goals. What are the next steps? At this point, I would like to mention that there's already a demo out on Steam. It does not represent the current game loop, but I like to keep it up there since it represents the atmosphere and feel of the game quite well. Now, for this demo, I would like to introduce a new update in early 2025 to test out the new gameplay decisions that I made, developed, and overhauled during the incubator. And then, of course, implement Qcheap. These have been missing from the start. And then tackle my social media presence. And last but not least, keep an eye out for publishers and cooperation opportunities to help me get the game across the finish line and, of course, reach the players. Now, in all of this, the incubator, of course, played a huge role on my development journey. Not only did it inspire me to turn my living room into a temporarily posted jungle, but it also left me with many new skills, may it be market analysis, PR, pitch decks, pitching itself, and many, many more. Then I also met a lot of new amazing people, may it be the mentors or people from Gamecity, or even the wonderful teams. So a lot of new great contacts there. Yeah, and all in all, this really helped me to define the core of Frisia. And it also led to a name change. I started with Frisia Cozy Villages, and now I find myself at Frisia Tales and Tides, which I believe represents my vision for the game a bit better. Now, I'm only left to say thank you all for attending today, and of course, best of luck to the other teams and developers from this year's Games Lift Incubator. Thanks again to the Gamecity Hamburg, and yeah, I really believe that you all helped me to build the foundation for turning a good idea into a great game. So, thank you.
You can see it in the applause. Wonderful presentation. Thanks very much, Rouven. And there's someone who also would like to send you some words, and we have a video message on screen now.
Hi, everyone. Hi, Rouven. I am very sorry I can't be here tonight for your Games Lift graduation. I think all the teams have done a marvelous job over the few last month that you had to improve on your projects. And nevertheless, I wanted to say a few words about Frisia in particular, and without much ado, here goes. When we think of the people living on the coast of Frisia, we think of their stoic calmness. No rush to get anywhere, no filled schedules, serenity. Such peace of mind seems essential when living beside the sea, a force of nature that gives as freely as it takes away in the blink of an eye. This kind of calmness springs from three things: reason, will, and foresight to persevere through the whims of ebb and flow. Perhaps this is what drew you, Rouven, to create a game about settling and exploring Frisia. You embody these very traits required to live with the sea. You have reason, you understand your project and yourself, knowing what you can achieve and what risks lie ahead. You have passion, always eager to learn, step outside your comfort zone, and explore new shores. Most importantly, though, you have foresight. You possess both a clear destination and the directions to reach it, knowing how to steer your game even when course corrections sometimes become necessary. But these aren't just traits needed to make a game about Frisia. They're essential characteristics for thriving in the game industry itself. The recent years have shown that this industry isn't a calm lake we're all living off. It's not a lake, it's an ocean, and a stormy one at that, with its own ebb and flow. It takes reason, will, and foresight to persevere through its tides. And for that, you seem most well equipped. I wish you that you never run aground on your way to Frisia and beyond, and that you're able to weather any storm. So congratulations on your graduation. Have a good night and lots of fun.
Thank you so much to Daniel Marx, CEO of Osmotic Studios, who sent us this video message and who's also one of the Games Lift mentors. He's too humble to say, but the reason why he can't join us today is because he's on his way to LA as a nominee for the Game Awards. So Daniel, whole Hamburg roots for you and your team to bring home that award. But now to a future Game Award nominee, hopefully. Also a couple of questions to you. Rouven, you showed us in your presentation you work as a solo dev, but you also like to work on teams. In your personal experience, what are like the advantages and disadvantages of each?
Okay. Well, first of all, as a solo developer, I have basically no communication delay. That's pretty great. So if I have an idea, I can just think about it a bit and then decide if I wanted to put it in the game or not. On the other hand, of course, I have to prioritize quite hard which subjects I want to make a deep dive, and that can be quite challenging at some points. And also, that's what I like about team or group projects, because you have certain roles, and that allows me, in my case, to dive into a subject much deeper, for example, into art or game design, and really focus on one aspect. And but I like both ways of working, and I'm going to keep doing that. So.
And I think you've been a great team member in the incubator as a whole, I believe.
Thanks.
And yeah, you told us that you released a demo version of Frisia very early on. What experience did you gain from that, and also how did the feedback that you gained for the demo help you in your development?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I released the demo in March, I believe, this year, so it's been out there quite a while. First of all, a lot of Dutch people were interested in it because there are not a lot of games about Friesland. Actually, not a single one, I believe. So that's quite interesting, and they were amazed, of course. But then it's something that I learned from like the interaction with these people and through Steam forums, and also during Gamescom. I was on Gamescom this year, and most players, even though the game was called Cozy Villages, weren't actually typical cozy gamers. So they were more interested in the strategy part of the game, and that led to the name change, as well as like the core mechanics that I changed during the incubator. But this was kind of the main interesting part that I learned through the demo release, and yeah.
All right. Still, if you want to play the demo, it's still up there, although it will change.
Exactly.
But for now, thank you very much, Rouven, for your presentation and
Thank
for
you.
being with us tonight.
Thank you so much. Now I have a joke or a question for you. Did you know that penguins can fly if they get some help from their friends? Our next team takes you on an emotional roller coaster ride with feathered beings and ancient worlds to explore. Here are Team Honeybeak with ForeFeathers.
All right. Alrighty. I think the clicker isn't working, so I'm not going to bother. All right. Perfect. So then I'm very excited to tell you the story of ForeFeathers. Bocky, the little penguin, is searching for his place in the world. After his flighted ancestors, mysteriously disappeared long ago, he grew up among land animals in a world of very few birds. Still, the sky is calling him. One day he finds himself traveling on an airship when a fierce storm picks it up and carries it high into the sky. But there, among the swirling clouds, the crew lands safely on the solid ground of a flying island. They've rediscovered the paradise of the birds, a flying archipelago high in the sky that not only houses the ruins, but also the ghosts of Bocky's ancestors. The flighted birdfolk, the ghostly birdfolk, is quite excited about the arrival of the land critters, but especially so about that of Bocky, their little descendant. In him, they see a chance to pass on their traditions after they suffered a great misfortune long ago. And so they offer to teach him all the different ways of being a bird. It is with great excitement that Bocky sets out on this journey across the world of his ancestors, hoping to finally find his place in it.
So, in an eggshell, ForeFeathers will be a story-rich exploration game. It's going to be for single players, in which you follow Bocky through the journey, on his journey through the old paradise of birds. We are currently in our concepting phase, but even though the gameplay, the world building, and the story is all about birds, it's not just about that, it's also about culture and the different ways of life. But what is the gameplay going to look like? Sorry. So, for the gameplay, we got our special gameplay feature, which is going to show the diversity of birds, but essentially becoming one. Through the magical feathers of Bocky's ancestors, he's getting the abilities, which will help him get past obstacles, find secrets, and explore the world. Two examples we got for the abilities right now are the woodpecker ability, which lets you hammer wood into shape, but also walk up trees, and also the eagle ability, which lets you fly with wind currents and carry heavy objects. But the main focus of ForeFeathers is going to be exploration. Not only that, also interaction with the cute little characters we made so far. From the grand ruins, the ruins are spanning from grand structures, but also tiny little nooks. They hold many secrets and little stories, but so do the ghostly inhabitants of the world, which will have many different tasks for Bocky, which will show him the old ways of life. But we will also meet the different land critters you came here with. But there will also be some more different activities. For example, you can build nests by finding different materials for that and rebuild some structures. And you will also, if you hear birds singing in the world around you, you can interact with different hidden characters. There we go. So, if you've sufficiently explored the world of ForeFeathers, you can test your abilities in the trial of mastery through fast parkours or spectacular performances. You can show how much you've already learned about being a bird. At any point in the game, you'll be able to come back to the camp that is formed around your airship, where you can meet the different birds and critters you've already met throughout your journey. You can chat with them, watch friendships develop, and also proceed in the overarching story. So for the visuals of ForeFeathers, we wanted to try out some efficient and very stylized ways of 3D modeling, with a focus on atmosphere, color, and shape language, but also with very natural elements. For this, we wanted to take inspiration from Alba's wildlife adventure and also from Wavetale. We also want to show how the avian residents have shaped their islands by reflecting that in the design with little cues like feathers and the egg shapes, of course, which you can already see in some of our current concept arts. Overall, ForeFeathers is going to fit perfectly with its peaceful gameplay in the ever-growing wholesome trend. People in this genre are looking for relaxation, hope and sweetness in this very stressful way of life at the moment. Games in this genre are mainly family-friendly, but a significant part are adults seeking to escape their day-to-day life. This audience is best reached on PC and Nintendo Switch, which will also be the target platform for us. So, now we also have some examples for ForeFeathers, which ForeFeathers can be compared to. We got Little Gator Games, Little Kitty Big City, Smushy Come Home, and Mail Time. These are all made of exploration heavy gameplay, but also have adorable animal characters. And they were made by teams of a different, similar size to us.
All right, now that you know what ForeFeathers is about, we also wanted to mention a couple things about who is making it. We are Team Honeybeak. All four of us met during our bachelor studies in Kaiserslautern. We studied virtual design, and that makes all four of us artists and 3D generalists. Still, each of us is specializing in different areas of game dev to cover the other important aspects that have to be done. So, for example, Elizabeth is going to tackle game design. Sang-Hui will be animating our cute characters, Melanie will be taking off social media and marketing, and I myself will be programming and writing for the most part. All right, so we entered the incubator with the plans of improving and solidifying our game concept, but also to learn about founding a studio and managing it, because we had no prior contacts with any of that. Needless to say, the incubator was a huge help in all of these aspects. A notable change is that we used to be a puzzle platformer, but through Cassia Curran's workshops, we learned to use market analyses and determined that the story-rich exploration genre fits us much better, because we are artists and storytellers first and foremost, and that will play into our strengths. Then, thanks to Michael Schieben's workshop with the product field method, we learned to refine our concept by pinpointing what makes us tick, what we can do, and what we want to do. So that really helped our idea. Then, thanks to Steffen Rühl, we were able to practice and improve on our pitching and presenting skills, and also improved our layout. And through all the other workshops with industry professionals, we learned much more about the bureaucratic aspects, the legal aspects, and the financial aspects of game dev, and we are incredibly thankful for that. All right, so a brief look into the future. First, freshly out of the incubator, we are going to focus on wrapping up the concepting phase that we're currently in. So that will also end with us founding our studio officially, probably sometime around spring or early summer next year, 2025. That will also be the time that we'll be kicking off our prototyping phase. And following that, or during that phase, we are going to start looking for composers to work on ForeFeathers soundtrack with us, and we'll also start looking into possible publishing options. If anyone here in the crowd might be interested in working together with us, we have our fancy little QR codes here, but you can find us on social media if you want to get in touch. And that is the end of our presentation about ForeFeathers. Thank you all so much, and thank you especially to the incubator team for this amazing opportunity. Thank you.
This is your applause. Thank you so much, Team Honeybeak. This was wonderful. Now we all got to be a bit flattery. But now we have some more warm words from our Games Lift mentor, coach and consultant, Björn Bergstein. He will tell what he has to say about ForeFeathers. Thank you, Björn. Welcome to the stage.
Thank you. Hello. So this team came a long way to Hamburg with their friend Bocky, just to take part in this incubator. When I look at your project, I can't help but see it as a reflection of the team itself. They look for the right place. And they try to find it with the help of others, all the mentors, the incubators, other teams. They're forming meaningful friendships, and they have always fun along the whole way. So, from my perspective, you are very successful in the way you do all this stuff. Let me tell you why. Number one, you're open-minded. So your team embraced every piece of input from the incubator and turned it into actionable improvements. Your behavior is to adapt, even revising your whole vision based on marketing insights. That is truly impressive. Number two, their courage. 4 students from Kaiserslautern just moved to Hamburg, lived together in a shared flat just to seize this opportunity. That takes guts. You have my deepest respect for that decision. Number 3, passion for the process. Whether it is creating games or learning the ropes of an entrepreneurship, this team thrives on the journey itself. You feel their gratitude for every experience and their enthusiasm for growth. Number 4, you all see it, their artistic talent. Their artwork is nothing short of extraordinary. With a style that's both catchy and charming, they have a unique superpower that enhances marketing, pitching, and every other aspect of a game development. Number 5, community spirit. This is very important in the gaming industry. So, in my opinion, you are actually an active part of the games community because you're always ready to support the other teams, other people, and you throw amazing parties. So it's always a pleasure to be around. So Bocky, if you wanted to learn to fly and be a bird, with a team like this, the sky is the limit. I wish you all the best. Keep soaring, Team Honeybeak.
Thank you so much.
Now I have some questions for you as well. How did you get the idea to make a game with a cute penguin?
Oh yeah, so funny story. Back in the 4th semester, during our studies, one of our larger projects was to make a casual game. And so in our jugendlichen Leichtsinn, in our naivete, you could say, we wanted to make a survival horror game, naturally. So we started working on that, but we got fed up with the idea pretty quickly. And so in a frustrated team talk, crisis meeting, you could call it, Senghui turned around to her plushy penguin and just went, "Oh, I think we should make a game about penguins." And you can see where that went. So we made a little platformer game about a penguin that's exploring some bird ruins. And the idea, the game, the old demo as we call it, was presented at a convention like the PlayCon. And the cute penguin was something that drew all the people to it. So we realized, oh, people really think this penguin is adorable. So we just kept going along with it. It feels like a fantastic idea.
Well, and it turned out so great. Thank you.
Thank you.
And what sparked your interest in the topic of culture and reconnection and exchange?
Oh yeah, right. Okay, so that's a development that became obvious, or that happened when we started taking the game a little more seriously. Because at first it was just a little platformer project, and then we got the idea. Okay, we want to make this a serious game, like not in a serious way, but we want to make it a bigger game. So we looked at all the components we had. We had bird ruins, and that implies a bird culture, which is a very cool and creative world-building opportunity, especially for us as artists and storytellers. So that was really cool. We wanted to develop that, so we added the bird ghosts to give them a more active role as well. But then the land critters. In the old demo, we had a little Easter egg that the airship that Bocky arrived to the island with was captained by a teddy bear of mine. So we had a teddy bear, so that meant, oh, we could add land critters to the mix as well. So now we have land critters, we have bird ghosts, and we have Bocky as a bridge between those, as a flightless bird. So this felt like a perfect setup for something to talk about culture, reconnection, and exchange. And we think that's a very important topic nowadays as well. So that's going to be a major focus of our game.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Team Honeybeak. This is your applause. Thank you for this lovely presentation.
Yeah, and just like Team Honeybeak, our next developer is also not from Hamburg and came here 3 months ago just to join the incubator, which is a great honor for us. I hope he didn't regret it. The charming characters and also the sounds of his game caught our hearts right from the start, and maybe you will have the same experience in just a minute. Here to present Garden Inc. are Sven and Arne. Beim ersten Mal muss man so klicken.
Okay. Yeah, hi guys. Today we're going to talk about our game Garden Inc., which we've been working on for the couple last months. And let's first of all, I got it. Thank you. I want to tell you what the game is about. So, Garden Inc. is a cozy design and exploration game in which you look from above on the world and you can interact with everything. And the game is mostly about making something from scratch. So you have like this empty world, and then you have these little leaf creatures that you see on the screenshot here, and they help you to grow the world with rocks and plants and ponds. Yeah, and the game is basically a single-player game, and we tend to have about 4 to 5 hours of gameplay. So we got a core gameplay loop, which basically contains the exploration part, the interaction part, and the unlocking part. And when you explore, you look around in the world and find new things depending on the weather, or depending on the time of day, or if you look at the tree, you find different creatures and things. And if you find something interesting, you can interact with it by clicking on it, which starts new small mini games or puzzles. And then you can unlock things by solving these puzzles and mini games, like new biomes or new decorations for your world, which leads you back to exploring more, which leads you back to interacting more. And yeah, that's the gameplay core loop. But that were a lot of words, and we are really happy to just show you what the game is like and what the vibe is. So we've prepared a small video for you that we can see now.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Okay, perfect.
So yeah, I hope you relax. Then we did probably a good job. So are the people behind this game. I'm Sven, I'm responsible for the sound and art design of the game. And I also do a lot of the gameplay coding, which are the mini games and small puzzles. And together with Arne, I'm making the game design.
And I'm Arne, you already heard my name. I'm the dude who's doing all of the technical stuff that you don't see, that's completely invisible to anyone. I went to a college to study software engineering and also studied coding at a school called 42. But I quickly realized that this is better for me. So now I'm here. Now, next to the next point. What makes our game special? In Garden Inc., you have the possibility to explore a huge hand-drawn world. Well, it starts off really small, but it keeps growing and expanding. And as you explore it, there are many little puzzles and mini-games that are all integrated with Sven's amazing artwork and sound design. They're all made completely by him, so they feel always like one big coherent thing. And in the end, we got the world-building aspect to the game. You will be able to replace all of the objects, recolor them, and even combine most of them to create new objects. All right. And also what makes our game also special is the way that you play it. It has a very simple control system. Only the left mouse button is needed to use it. So we want it to be accessible to all first-time gamers too, not only cozy gamers. All right. Our next point is the progress during the incubator. As you can see, like for all the other teams and for us, the incubator has helped us a lot. And it's always been a great pleasure to look at all the other teams talk and show us their projects, and also the mentors share all of their experience and knowledge, and it's very useful and helpful. And it made us like change the whole concept of the game and the whole gameplay loop, which means that there will be a new prototype soon. All right. Now, where are we growing? We want to make the game good. Each individual mini-game should be like a very nice, immersive experience that you can just get lost in, have fun, and just think like, oh, that's cute, I want to do that again. We want it to be dense. We don't want everybody to have to wait for like 5 or 10 minutes between everything happens. We want everything not to be at the same time too, but to the possibility to just pick and choose what you want to do next without having long waiting times. We also want to self-publish. This is our first project together, and we are very excited to see how far it can go if we're only doing this as 2 people. So I think it's a good idea to self-publish at first. And it's a lot of fun, so we really want to make more games. This won't be our last.
But first we finish this one, yeah. So, yeah, and if you want to connect with us, join our Discord. We just started it last week, and we release the new content and tell you when we have a Steam page and social media stuff. So, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sven and Arne, for your presentation. And who better to say a couple of words about your game than the one mentor whose studio is actually also developing a cozy game where you plant seeds. So welcome to the stage, Manny. No, you can look at us just stay here.
Okay. Hi. Nice, really nice. I think everybody had a nice meditation moment there when listening to the game, and as I have had playing it so far and watching you grow and develop the game. But before I get too much, I want to correct one thing, Arne. We see you. and the great work that you've done in the game. And I'm sure that as developers, we all know what it takes to program a game like this, even if it isn't the art style. So
I wish you could see me.
we do. We see you. When I saw Garden Ink for the first time, it struck me. There's enough people who know me in this audience to know that art is not my forte, and the visual art definitely not, but there was something about this game, right? You see it for the first time and you want to touch it. You want to play with it, and as soon as you click on some of the first characters and they start to make those cute little noises, you don't want to stop. You want more, and you want to keep building. I'm also a huge fan, not just of cozy games and simulation games, exploration game, but of our games or art projects that deconstruct a genre. And I do think, and I'm not sure if anybody could correct me, I have never seen a game before where you start on a blank page. There's literally nothing, and it goes against so many conventions of what we know and how to hook a player. And it's just 2 little dots on a page. And there's no world to explore. The world builds as you start playing the game. And I just loved that loop so much. It really got me to wanting to drag more of this white page and find more of what was going on. And of course, there's still work to do, and work has been done through the incubator. I mean, I know you see the results now, but there's huge leaps already from what it was. Some small tweaks that make it more engaging and fun to play. Some of the puzzles that you've seen are just so great. And the merger implementations, I'm so happy to see it. It's going to be great, along, of course, with the coloring that adds that to the world. So there was a quote that you said, and I'd like to read from one of the interviews you had. "Blank slates with guidelines, which gives people the freedom to create." And I think you described this for Minecraft, and it is true for all sandbox games, and I think it really is true for Garden Ink. And I think it's a showcase of how much you understand not only how to be creative, but how the creative process works. And anybody who plays your game feels not only like somebody who's playing the game, but a creator in and of itself. You start with a blank page, and by the end of it, you have this amazing world that you've edited, colored, brought life to. So it is a game I would love to play myself, and I'm thrilled to see it being developed here, of course, as part of the incubator. So fantastic project to pick. I have nothing else to say except, yes, self-publish, great decision, go for it. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Manny. And of course, I have 2 questions for you as well. Arne, you joined the team quite a bit later after Sven already started. So what was it that convinced you that you want to spend so much time and effort and passion on this project?
Well, it's kind of nerdy. During COVID, I didn't really like my college, so I did what anybody or any sane nerd would do, and I opened a Minecraft server. And one of our mutual friends invited Sven. And after a couple of weeks, I noticed he makes those huge, beautiful, decorated buildings that you just want to explore, but you have no way to get there. So I built roads and infrastructure and mini games around it. So when he asked me to join the team, I was like, yes, 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 because this team dynamic is extremely rare. I'm a special person. He can take care of me. That's perfect too. We make a good game together.
Yeah, I got that feeling too. And Sven, we heard it. You are an artist, and this is your first really game project. But you have worked in other fields of art before. So, from your artistic perspective, what is it that makes making a game special?
For me, it's really nice to just create a world. Because before, I did a lot of art and music, and you heard all the music. And it was just really nice to get into the feeling that I can make all these things alive. I have these animations and sounds, and now you can interact with them. And I just feel like my own little god of my own little world, which is so great. I really get lost in all these small details, like, I make like a little wave shader on the water, and or add small animations to every single part of this world. So this is the thing that makes it really special for me, that you can interact with the world and not just watch it. Yeah.
Yes, I think you can feel that when playing the game. So thank you very much to Sven and Arne for being part of this.
Thank you.
Oh no, we are fast approaching the end of this evening. You think, but what could be better than to head to a pub with some couple of friends, have some beers, enjoy the evening, not to go outside this desolated wasteland. You don't know what I'm talking about, right? Well, Triflgard will take us for a ride in their Pubcrawler. Please welcome to the stage.
Teaser. Moin, we're Triflgard, and today we're excited to present our game Pubcrawler. In Pubcrawler, you and your friends take charge of a wandering pub. Together, you'll decide the direction the pub should go and, hopefully, guide it safely to its destination. Along the way, you need to keep the machines running, the bar stocked, and make sure there's always a drink in the hands of your passengers. But none of these tasks can be done alone, so team up to conquer the challenges that comes with managing your Pubcrawler. We are still in the concept phase of a game. That's why we prepared a small video with some placeholder assets to showcase it.
In a world where few places remain livable, people use crawlers to traverse the land. But running a crawler is no easy task. It takes coordination and above all, teamwork.
Now that you had a small glimpse of the game, let's take a look at some of the key features. Pubcrawler is a chaotic co-op game with management elements, which you and up to 3 friends play together on the couch or online. It will initially be available for PC on Steam, with plans to expand to other platforms later. A journey in Pubcrawler consists of several days. At the start of each day, you'll decide the direction the pub should take as a crew. After sunrise, the crawler can be started and you can dive into the core loop of the game. And in the evening, the sun sets, the crawler stops, and you can upgrade it or treat yourself to an after-work beer. I will walk you through the different phases with some examples now. In the beginning, you decide together where the pub should go. This already creates a nice opportunities for the players to interact with each other, but in a stress-free and relaxed way. On this map, you can see the crawler on the bottom left. And there are 2 outposts that you can go to. You can choose the easy path and receive the small reward, or choose the dangerous path and receive the high reward. Factors such as a swamp, a dangerous bridge, or a stranded passenger may influence the choice. But you don't have to go the direct route, though. Small diversions can be worthwhile, like picking up the stranded passenger and still going over the dangerous bridge to get the higher reward. Once the route has been planned, the crawler can be started. This is when the busy activities on the crawler begins. The crew must find a balance between the fulfilling the needs of the passengers and the maintenance of the crawler. The gameplay is primarily characterized by the logistics of resources and microgames. For instance, drinks have to be brewed up in the cellar and brought up to the bar room. There they can be served to the guests. Here is where our microgames come into place. Microgames are small, playful challenges that spice up the action, like curling a beer across the counter, or like repairing a broken pipe. In some ways, like this one, they have to work together, like the valve has been held shut while another person applies the patch. We want this necessary cooperation to encourage players to work together and communicate as a team. In the end of the day is the phase which any upgrades are applied, which will improve the crawler for the coming days. This could be, for example, a better engine to get further, or a larger bar to accommodate more passengers. But not only can you upgrade your crawler, it is also a relaxed opportunity for the players to reflect on what has happened, whether by playing the organ, enjoying a free drink, or playing a round of Billiard. The possibilities of how such a day can unfold are very versatile. And also, the challenge of managing your crawler will rise with time, so it never gets boring or repetitive. Depending on the passengers and the chosen route, the players will write their own story on their very own crawler.
Yeah, and who are we? We are Triflgard. We got to know each other during our university time and became friends through regular board game evenings. That's really when our shared vision and shared passion for game development really took root. And after the first joint projects we did together, we founded Triflgard. Fred does most of the programming for us. Me, Leo, is responsible for the 3D and technical art, and Finn takes care of the audio direction as well as the gameplay programming. We're also working together with 2 external people. For one, we have Meow. She supports us in management and consulting issues. And we're also working together with Max, a great musician, who composes our wonderful soundtracks for us. Yeah, and how has the incubator helped us so far? Through feedback sessions and excellent training courses, we gained a much better understanding of our own game. And with this better understanding, we kind of adjusted the focus of our development, because now we are concentrating much more on the player's experience and feelings rather than on any complex mechanics. We also learned a lot about pitching and improved it through great feedback by our excellent mentors. And at last, due to the workshops we managed to put together a solid project plan for the next years, which has already been pretty helpful for coordinating with other people. Yeah, but not only we changed and advanced, but the game has also seen a lot of progress. Even though Pubcrawler is still in a very, very early development phase, playing the game online and local is already possible. We can also already generate a semi-procedural world in which the Pubcrawler can run around freely. And finally, our characters are already able to perform the most important things, like doing basic tasks, and of course, drinking beer. Yeah, and what lies ahead for our journey with the Pubcrawler? We're currently looking for funding opportunities to support our project, including the prototype funding of the Gamecity next year. And one of our big goals is to establish Triflgard as a respected employer here in the Hamburg game dev community. And at last, our plan with Pubcrawler is to develop the game in collaboration with the community. So growing this community will be very important for us. To grow this community, we plan to display our game on different conventions and conferences. Yeah, and I think you now understand why we are so excited about our game Pubcrawler. Again, thanks so much to the Games Lift team and the Gamecity Hamburg for this great opportunity and this wonderful program. And yeah, as well as the other Games Lift teams that really supported us, and yeah, it was a great time. And yeah, if you want to hop on the Pubcrawler with us and want to join our vision, feel free to follow us through this feedback on our social media channels. And yeah, at last, thanks so much for listening and watching, and yeah, great evening.
Yes, thank you so much. This was wonderful. Now I'm getting a bit thirsty. Don't worry, we will get there. But before we do, we will have a small video message from Games Lift mentor and game consultant Steffen Rühl.
Imagine a wandering bar looking a bit like an AT&T from Star Wars and traversing a very bleak wasteland. And inside the bar, the Pubcrawler, it is the player's duty to keep the guests happy and the glasses at least half full. The world outside has pretty much ended, the weather is bad, but inside the sun is still shining. That is the essence of Pubcrawler. Even though the world is bleak, inside there's a sense of coziness, of cooperation, and of getting things done together. Challenges are not faced alone, but side by side. The same can be said about the team behind the game. Leo, Finn and Fred navigate their project with the same warmth, hard work and cooperation that stands for Pubcrawler as a game. All is wrapped in a sense of coziness. You feel this connection in the team in the same way. None of these tasks could be accomplished alone. Their own website states, communicate with your friends to master the challenges surrounding this unusual vehicle. And this statement equally applies to the team and their journey over the past few months. The team first bonded by playing board games, and it seems only natural that they try to transfer this experience into their video game. Their mission goes beyond entertainment. It's about creating an experience where people can laugh, enjoy each other's company, and solve the everyday problems of a walking pub. To Leo, Finn and Fred, I wish you all the best in bringing fun and enjoyment to players all over the world. Your dedication to spending time together and sharing fun shines through, not just in your work, but also in the game you create. May Pubcrawler become the cozy haven that you have envisioned and deliver of what you value most, having fun together. All the best.
Yes, thank you, Steffen, who's hopefully watching us right now. And now I have some questions for you. Pubcrawler seems fun and chaotic at the same time. Why did you want to make this kind of multiplayer game? What was the inspiration?
Okay, we wanted to make a game that we can play ourselves in our game evenings together. And we love to have fun, obviously. Also, we love to discuss. And we wanted to put that in one game. So we laugh together and to make decisions together. And most importantly for us, it is that everyone can play the same game and play together.
Thank you. And you want to make it fun for everyone, you said. What does this mean?
With everyone, we don't mean everyone have to like this game. Obviously not possible. But we want to make everyone the possibility to play it. So that's the reason we take a big focus of accessibility in the game, and we build a great foundation to play multiplayer co-op games in different levels of difficulty. And in Pubcrawler, this will be the first game we implement this vision.
Thank you. We were looking forward to playing it and to seeing more of you. Thank you so much. This was wonderful. This is your applause. Thank you, Triflgard and Pubcrawler.
Yeah, thanks to all 5 teams for your presentations tonight, and thank you for all the dedication, the passion you put into your games, and also the dedication and passion you put into the incubator for the past couple of months. We at Gamecity always strive to make the incubator program as useful as possible to the game devs, but in the end, it's the participants themselves who bring their heart and soul into each batch of incubator. And yeah, it was wonderful to see the 12 of you work and grow and have fun together in the past couple of months, and we can't wait to see more. I'm sure this also goes for our audience, so please reach out to the 5 dev teams if you would like to get in touch. Please visit their social media channels, Discord servers, and Steam pages to wishlist. You will find their contact data on the chat if you're watching us on YouTube tonight.
And thanks to everyone who supported Games Lift as part of a network, as mentors. Thanks to the whole Gamecity team, Dennis, Helen, Judith, and Zenta, to all of you, to the Design Centrum Hamburg for hosting us tonight, to Simon and his crew for the live stream and the technical support, and to all of you guests here tonight and viewers on YouTube. Thank you so much for being here.
A new round of Games Lift will start in the fall of 2025, and if you're interested in applying yourself, please make sure to subscribe to our Gamecity newsletter, to join our Discord, or follow us on social media. We are very much looking forward to seeing what you are working on. But for tonight, thank you very much for joining us, and have a good night.